Okay, so now that I've got the ink set into the beeswax, I'm going to take some tools, and it's time to do some detail work. Generally, I'll either look at the screen or print off an image of the original subject, so I can see where the highlights are and where maybe there's some details that I want to stand out a little bit. So I'll lay this down, and then I'll use these tools. These are tools that somebody that works with clay would probably carve into pottery with. And I have a variety of these things. So I have a bucket full of different miscellaneous objects that I can carve, get details in, depending on how much of the ink I want to remove, the beeswax, depending on the tool. So I'm gonna put the video on me doing a little detail work here, so watch along. Okay, so I wanted to speed this up a little bit so you wouldn't have to sit here through the whole process, but I wanted to talk about, I lay these larger paintings or any painting down to start, and what I'm doing is just basically choosing areas where I want highlights and carving out wax, and I go by the image, but I also take into account the composition. If I need to brighten up an area or whatever, I will take off a little more ink in some spots that necessarily weren't in the photo that I took. So as you can see here, I stood the painting up because a larger painting like this, it's easier to step back and assess where I've carved into the painting and where maybe I need to draw some attention, bring some highlights. So I'm just going back and forth, looking at my image, looking at my painting, doing some carving. Because the bad thing about the carving is once you take it off, you can't put it back. Now I do have some tricks where I can darken an area if I do too much, but I'm very limited on that. And then right here on this step, it's just basically, I wait till I get to the point where I'm happy with it before I will carve my initials into the painting. I don't know why, but I just feel like, okay, it's got to be right before I put my initials in it. My fancy handwriting here. So once that's in, I'll just take the heat gun to it one more time. I like to smooth out the edges where I've carved into it. I don't think it's necessary. The ink's already set. It's just a preference, something that I like. I'll spend a few minutes and I'll notice too at this point if there's any of those little ink balls from where I've carved into it. Sometimes they get left on the painting, so I can get them off at this time. And then we'll call her done. I'll let it cool off a little bit, and then I'll turn it over and sign the back and write the information about the painting, title and size and things like that. Thanks for watching.